Alright, draft science video, yay! And this one won't be on physics. So anyway, I'll title it biology or something. But anyway, there's two subjects I want to get to. Let's see if I get to them both. We'll start off with, Professor Anton keeps making videos about, comparing humans to animals. And it's just such an unfair comparison. I mean, we already know humans got a different brain. The point of the argument is how significant is that difference? And is the difference just a shift in brain priority? And that's my argument anyway, is that's all it was. Whatever 50 to 200,000 years ago, the human brain changed, and it became capable of learning. And then it did this whole build civilization thing. It migrated across the world because it had an advantage. It could outmaneuver and out-scheme all the little animals because it could learn generation to generation. It could store knowledge and communicate knowledge to each other. It had vocabulary. It achieved the Helen Keller miracle. And so that was a biggie. But it wasn't like, I don't think, there was this huge, big, giant change in our brain. Like, the whole brain turned upside down or something incredible took place. We were probably vocal monkeys, and we just became, our brain made this final shift over, where a section of our brain switched from whatever it was doing, sense-wise, whatever its orders were, its function, and it became completely devoted. I got the settings right here. Yeah. To doing this communicating thing, the verbal thing, the vocabulary thing. And we see how the brain does portions of the brain are devoted to these things. And so I think that's more about what happened. The filing cabinet just changed, and one of the drawers got relabeled and reprioritized, and for both good and bad. I mean, I think we gained in terms of having now this intelligence capacity, because now we could order function, we could filter our brain and our consciousness much more acutely. But yeah, we lost probably some sort of feeling capacity, some sort of sense. That's why animals are jumpier and seem more perceptive, more acute. I mean, all the mammals, I think, have a better sense of smell than we do. So that's probably part of what was sacrificed. But anyway, I won't get into that detail. Let's just deal with the fact that maybe all it is a subtle shift. And part of what might make it illustrated also is the fact that, how we're reusing the brain in a different way, and it takes more work. It takes longer to maturate a human. And they're completely dysfunctional at birth. I mean, at 1 year old, they're way behind a 1 year old of any other mammal in terms of their functionality. And that might be part of what makes this whole vocabulary thing work, is a brain that filters, that is very careful about what experiences, what memories it locks into storage, how it uses the hard drive space. And so that might be one of the reasons why we have such an extraordinarily long maturation period, is that the brain's got to be carefully constructed to be able to do this thought, abstract thinking thing effectively, and to do the vocabulary thing effectively. That would be my out of my ass explanation. But anyway, the point I wanted to get to was, it might be theoretical truth, possibility here, that a subtle surgery on a great ape or an elephant or some other mammal with the required capacity, decent brain capacity, a decent brain to body mass number, to do a subtle operation on their brain when they're a fetus or when they're a baby, and create the same effect and create the same capacity to become language capable. Even if they couldn't speak, they could do the Helen Keller thing. We could have a translation language that we could communicate with them with, because now they would be able to store sufficient words, because their brain would have access to a larger center. It probably needs to be an animal that does use sound, like an elephant or an ape already. But yeah, it just depends on what part needs to be enhanced. So I guess the argument, I don't really want to get into specifics of what exact piece of the brain needs to be changed, because who knows explicitly. But just the argument is that it might not be a complex change. It might be a very subtle and simple change, and a little cut of a few chords kind of deal. That will make them capable of a vocabulary and having a conversation with us. And I would just imagine how that would change the world if there was a talking ape, a representative, or a talking elephant, one with a competent philosophical capacity. How would that change how humans live on this planet? I think the change would be, obvious. I just don't think they could escape the truth anymore, that the only difference between us and these animals is a few IQ points. They're not living less important lives. The intensity of their feelings and passions is not less important or less dramatic. All they are is less skillful. They're not very good drivers. So what? Because they can't drive very well, we're going to treat them like shit? That's idiotic. It's worse than idiotic. It's grotesque bigotry, and fuck that shit. So anyway, yeah. So I just wanted to bring up the subject, because I think I think people have to get prepared for that reality being the truth, and so somebody ought to talk about it. So I guess that's my job. I talk, so I'll talk about it. Now the other subject I had has escaped me, unfortunately. Sorry, my back is still miserable. Damn, there's another biology subject. Oh yeah, lie detector. But that one has another huge implication. We're getting closer, and using MRIs and stuff, they're getting better. And what if we do? What if we have the technology? I think we'd already have it if we were actually working on it hard, with real government money. If we had a reliable lie detector, simple, quick, easy little device, how dramatically would that change life for the human race? We could guarantee ourselves some honesty out of our government and accountability. No more liars and cheaters. No more fakers and game players. It would just be a spectacularly beautiful thing to behold, to put all the shysters and the shitheads out of business. Wow. Oof. Just thinking about it gives me a little bit of a boner. But anyway, damn horse flies, fucking A. And that bite me in the top of my fucking head. Steal my brain. This camera's really not performing very well. The sun really does have to be, somewhere on you. But anyway, yeah, I did camera test, and so, I'm using the camera. This is the camera I used to use for my walk and talks in the old days. And I like it. I shouldn't, because it really isn't that good. But, it's a well-made little piece of crap, so I like it. Even though it doesn't take the best video, I like it. That's all I can say. Simple. So anyway, but you know, it has a lot of features for a little simple camera. Yeah, that's it. Alright, anyway, enough of the video. Yeah. Hopefully I'll be better tomorrow. Back's a little better, but I'm still walking around like some kind of weird stick up my ass. These flies are incredible. Oh, it rained, that's why. Yeah, it's very humid. I like that for whatever reason. Sorry about my hair. It's evening hair or whatever. Yeah. God damn it, fly. Give it up, you asshole. I'm just going to kill you. Too stupid to figure it out. Anyway, till next time.